it's Leslie from Sip Better. I'm going to talk about the noble grapes. Have you ever heard the term noble grapes? Well, there's actually 6 of them on the scale. There are 3 whites and 3 reds. I'm going to cover the 3 whites in this particular video. So, the Noble Grapes series were said to be grapes that no matter where they lived in the world and where they were planted in the world, they were always going to maintain their original character. So the typicity is what we often talk about in the world of wine when it comes to these grape varietals. Let's talk about the 3 whites. Number 1 is Sauvignon Blanc. Number 2 is Riesling. Number 3 is Chardonnay. Now, I know oftentimes that Riesling is one of those grapes that's misconstrued as being sweet, so we're going to talk about that. Let's head into Sauvignon Blanc first. This actually is from the region of Sancerre, which is very famous for growing Sauvignon Blanc. Sancerre kind of has a little bit more of this dry, chalky note to it because of the soil. Now, Sauvignon Blanc is a lighter bodied grape on the scale and does give you lots and lots of beautiful gooseberry note. Gooseberries, you can actually purchase them in a store. It would be a specialty grocery store, but if you head into a store and you find gooseberries, pick up a couple of them so that you know what they smell and taste like. The Sauvignon Blancs can actually range all the way into more tropical fruit and melon, sometimes like a kiwi or even like a pineapple-y side to them if they're grown in warmer climates. The cooler the climate, the higher the acid the grape will maintain on pretty much any level of grape spectrum. So Sauvignon Blanc, a little bit more on the citric side also when you find them in a cooler climate. If you're wandering into New Zealand, you are going to get into more of that cut green grass and sometimes lush grapefruit. So more of like a red grapefruit juice that you can taste from a Sauvignon Blanc from a warmer climate. And then into California Sauvys, you can taste that melon side. All right, next is Riesling. Riesling, medium weighted and often misconstrued as being sweet, not necessarily always the case. What I love about Riesling is that it is one of the world's oldest grapes in the way of how long it will age. Because of its even keel of acid and sugar when the grape is born, you will find these grapes actually go the distance in the way of how long they'll age. Riesling ranges from light and bright, almost like green apple skin, into these beautiful honeyed tones. So you get more of the muskmelon and into some white florals, and then you can go all the way down into like a ripe honeycomb sort of piece as well. So those honey tones are always pretty reminiscent of Riesling itself. You can get a little bit of a smoke or flint, sometimes a petrol note on Riesling as well, depending upon where that particular grape is grown. In cooler climates in Germany, you can find them bone dry to the point where that green apple skin is super apparent on the grape itself. As you move it into places like Washington, the state of Washington does produce Riesling, and you're going to get those warm honeyed tones. So pay attention to that. Don't kick Riesling out of your life forever, because there are some beautiful renditions of this in Germany and Austria, which of course we're sending you through the Sip Better Club. Last is the grape Chardonnay. Chardonnay is the fullest bodied white grape on the scale. It can range from green apple, yellow apple, into notes of cut fresh pear and then almost baked pear essence, all the way into those big heavy tropical zones as well. You can get those big pineapple-y flavors, and then lots and lots of that tropical guava that you can also pick up from warmer climated Chardonnays. Now, Chardonnay is that grape that is often misconstrued as feeling heavy or toasty or oaky, as folks like to describe it, but that has to do with the actual winemaking itself. If you put it into a brand new barrel, you will suck out the elements of the barrel itself, so you could pull up notes like cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, clove, pancakes, French toast, creme brulee, Malibu suntan lotion, movie theater butter popcorn. All those elements actually come from the barrel itself. Those elements do not live in that little baby piece of fruit. So that's something to consider as well. If you've already kicked Chardonnay out of your life, maybe welcome it back in and look for more of these unoaked versions. Or in the region of Burgundy, they often work with neutral barrels, meaning that the barrel's been used several times over, and so you don't ever really pick up that nuance of oak in the glass. All right, this covers the 3 noble white grape varietals, and of course, I'm here to help you get your wine game on.